Whoa, my picture is not up. Let me add Scarlet. I just noticed my picture is not up. Hello, welcome, Scarlet. Give me 1 second. I am not sure. My camera is not showing, damn it. Activated. That's the problem. For some reason got deactivated. So there we go. There we go. All right, I'm here. Sorry about that, guys. Well, welcome everybody to Sci-Fi Vision. We are going to be talking about the fourth episode of the Institute the Box. Tonight, we'll be doing our deep dive into the episode. I am here, of course, with my co-host Scarlet. Don't mind me while I'm taking Afrin, but hi. It's been a weird night.
Seems like a human response to things nowadays.
Yeah, I know. But welcome. So, did you like this week's episode?
Yeah, it was fine.
I thought it was actually a little bit better. I felt like a little bit more happened. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like it moved forward a little bit comparatively. So I don't know. I didn't mind it.
But. Yeah, I keep getting lost into the child abuse aspects.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. And it's really hard, I think, to watch in this one. I would agree with that. Although the whole thing with, I think his name's is it Harry? That other kid?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that log.
Yeah, the thing with that is, I guess they just wanted to make it like everything was okay, because I don't know that was 100% their fault. Like they made him get sick or whatever, but it seemed to me like he just had anger issues, because whether he was throwing up and felt sick or not, that didn't make it okay to hit somebody. So I don't know that I blame them all the way for that one, but yeah. But the rest of it, yes, it was hard to watch them suffocate Luke, I think, like a lot. So, all right. So at the beginning here in this scene, I'm looking at this as like, is there any reason he's eating Lucky Charms? No. I feel like that's what we do anymore. Like we're looking for something, and yeah, I don't think there is. Although I like Lucky Charms, but. Yeah, Avery is eating his cereal and he's talking to Luke because they cannot hear from or see Kalisha anymore. And Avery is getting really freaked out about it. And Luke is, making up excuses like it's probably because she's further away. He's trying to pretend that he believes everything's okay, but Avery knows he's lying and he thinks Kalisha's dead. And he does tell him he won't think it, but it's kind of hard to control what you think. So, yeah, I'm not super sure about that. Hi, Muncher. Thanks for coming. And everybody, please make sure that you do follow Sci-Fi Vision on Twitter and check out, or on Twitter. Well, on Twitter too, but that wasn't what I meant to say. Follow Sci-Fi Vision on YouTube and check out all our live streams and our videos on the feeds. You can, of course, always get all of our live streams that you miss. And we have two tomorrow. 10 p.m. Eastern is the review of this show. And then at 1, you and I will be back for Nautilus. So people need to come back tomorrow as well. Hey, Kimberly, thanks for coming.
I'm going to be reading up on Jules Verne.
Yeah. I'm like, I got to watch the end of that episode. I forgot I haven't yet. I got to go watch it tonight. I was thinking I had. And then Thursday we'll be adding Sandman, of course, as well. So
yeah.
So there is a lot this week. Yeah, there's quite a bit. But yeah, one day at a time, I guess. But you can get all those schedules on our Discord. Whoops. And I'm trying to post the Discord link and having issues, but let me post it. So yeah, if you haven't, I know most of you probably have, but hey, I don't know, because it tells me that the majority of the people that watch aren't subscribed. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Whoops. There we go. We'll pin the message. Hey, Fletch, Jen, thanks guys for coming.
I think you should always put the Discord up too, because some people may be comfortable signing up for Discord, but not YouTube.
Yeah. That's why I always make sure that I at least put up Discord. I usually try to remember to do that because then everybody can get the schedule, because I tend to remember to update the stuff in there before I do like a post on YouTube or whatever. So yeah, you can find all our watch parties like we had tonight and our schedule there. Hey, Lori, thanks for stopping by. Glad you guys all hung out. All right. Well, so yeah, what do you? I mean, I think Avery. I was going to say to you, I think Avery is the only one that doesn't think that Kalish is dead or is going to be killed at this point. And
well, I think
yeah, I don't know.
Felicia hopes she doesn't die too. I think
That's true.
Felicia has a positive attitude.
Yeah, but I wonder
she
if
might
she's still
need
fighting.
being where she is.
Yeah, she sounds like she really needs it. But I'm not sure why he's focusing in on Luke, unless because he already knew that Nikki thought that, so maybe he thinks he can, I don't know, change Luke's mind. At least I guess that's the hope. But yeah, Luke does promise that he'll try not to think she's dead. Can he actually change his mind or project what he isn't thinking? I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, so Nikki, and maybe that's why George and Nikki aren't even sitting with them, because they're like, we know she's dead, we give up. No, George has a positive outlook. I forgot, he seems to think everything's okay, he won't accept it, but Nikki not so much. All right, so they talk, and then we have these two girls, Greta and
Gerda. The Shining happening.
Yeah, totally a shout out to The Shining, obviously. And yeah, we don't really get a whole lot of them other than they come in and you know,
yeah, I like how it's so like parallel in the shot too. The two windows, the sign in the middle, the two doors on the side. They're wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, it's very I feel
those
like
are two separate actresses, right? They're not in that one. One isn't CGI.
I believe
because they look slightly different.
Yeah, they look slightly different, so I would guess probably so. But just you saying that makes me go back and think of Severance and all of our it's equal on each side. It's a reflection. Yeah, no, it's nice to see.
Because in The Shining, they're not twins either. One's a little older than the other, but everybody calls them the twins.
Yeah. Well,
probably because they're wearing the same dress.
Like twins, but I doubt they're you know, I think it's two different people. It looks like it. And that's okay, Lori. Thanks for coming by. Let's see. Okay, and Golden Child too. Sorry, Miss Golden Child. Welcome. Fletch says, you know, I always see it. I'm like, okay, wait, what's his name tonight? Fletcher says, I keep calling you Fletcher no matter what you change your name to. Do you think Annie was once in the Institute but managed to run away? Could Luke be trying to hide his own progress in the Institute to delay the transfer to the back half? I don't know. What do you think? I think that's a distinct possibility. The only reason I question it now is because they killed Annie off so fast. So I kind of wonder if that's the case, how we're going to get that information, unless it's just like a flashback or something. I don't know. That I thought that at the beginning, but now I'm not so sure. What do you think?
Well, it could be something Tim finds eventually. Like he's found a lot of stuff in her tunnel already. He could find more things, more about her backstory.
Yeah. New week, new name. Yeah, Fletcher. Yeah, I definitely, that's a possibility. I don't know. I really thought that at the beginning. I'm just, because they did kill her, it made me wonder if I was wrong. But I hope so. I would like to know that she was part of the, well, maybe not managed to run away, but something happened that she was not there. Or like I said before, maybe they did erase her memory, but didn't do it right or something. But she did have some kind of odd connection. And the fact that she was precog, clearly, since she saw the plane crash before it happened, or maybe she was seeing it as it was happening. I don't know. Was she supposed to be predicting it or seeing it as it happened? That wasn't super clear either.
I think a lot of things in this episode weren't super clear.
Yeah. Well, but Luke tried to hide his own progress. Yeah, he's definitely trying to delay the transfer. That's why he's hiding it.
Because he's getting a little bit of the PC action.
Yeah, he can read minds now, and he does seem to be seeing the future, which nobody else that we know of yet actually is precog in this show that we know of. It's
Except
all been
maybe, and this is my theory, maybe Tim is.
Maybe Tim is. That would be interesting. I could see
because that might have been why he got off the plane. He saw something.
When he what?
When he traded seats and everything, he just knew something was up. He could have seen something. Maybe.
I don't think it was Final Destination, but maybe. You never know. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems strange that in a story where they're so hell-bent on making precogs that there isn't more people who can see the future. I don't know, but maybe we'll find out hopefully that there is soon. I don't know. All righty. So yeah, we have the shining girls. I'm just going to call them Greta and Gerda. And meanwhile, we have Sigsbee talking to Hendrickson and Stackhouse. You know, I do not understand why this show, for some reason, I can remember all their names. I'm just laughing because when we do the other show, Karen always, like almost always forget. Why am I doubled? I see two of myself on the screen. She always forgets Hendrick's name, and for some reason, I actually tend to remember it, which is kind of weird. I'm just trying to figure out why I'm doubled. I happen to realize I can see two of me. That's very bizarre.
Oh yeah, now I see it.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about. Something I have. Oh, I have two of them there. There we go. I don't know.
Twins.
I had it literally doubled. I'm not sure what that's about. But speaking of you, because I said the Shining Girls, you know, there is this show, and I'm gonna now because I don't. Oh, I was just saying it's funny because I do for some reason remember their names, and I don't tend to remember anything else. But I do remember the names in this.
Probably because their names are a lot easier than the names of the characters on Nautilus and the names of the characters on Murderbot.
True. But Fletcher, you're laughing, but there's actually a show called, I was right, that's why I double checked, The Shining Girls. It's actually really good. It's like a sci-fi, I don't want to give it away, but it's actually really good. If anybody ever gets a chance to check that out, it's
called The Shining Girls?
Yeah, it's with the one that's with the girl that's in, okay, see, I don't remember everything, but the girl that's in Handmaid's Tale.
Elizabeth Moss?
Yeah, Elizabeth Moss. Yeah, it was for a few years ago. I had interviewed the one actor on it. That's why I had watched it, but it was an Apple show. It was really good.
But it wasn't King-based.
No, it wasn't King-based, but it was sci-fi, time travel-y. I think you guys would really like it. Let's put it that way.
I didn't know when Elizabeth Moss got The Shining. I was like, what the heck?
No. But it is a good show. I liked it a lot. I think if you like this kind of stuff, you'd like it. I was going to say, are we going to get to, I don't know. We might not get to a scene with Tim for a while. So we'll go ahead and answer Fletcher's question. Do you think Tim can trust Wendy? I don't know. I went back and forth when I first watched this. What do you think? Do you think Wendy's trustworthy?
I think so. At the end, I thought so.
I would say I hope so, but I don't know because no, because one week I thought, oh, she's cool, and then the next week I thought she's totally a plant, and then I went back and forth. So my answer is I don't know. And do you think Tim has someone in the Institute related to him? Not yet, or at least not that he knows of. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about that. Maybe one of the people that work there could be. That would be interesting. I don't know.
It's a distant relation to Luke.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he could be a distant relation to Luke. That's a good point. Who knows?
Well, I mean, they seem to be headed on a rendezvous of destiny, Luke and Tim. So
yeah, they're definitely.
I don't know how much of that is going to be.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be crossing paths some point soon. I think, though. And we're halfway through the season, so
yeah.
I think that's bound to happen at some point soon. All right, so this is where Sigsbee is asking Hendricks what he said before about their last set of twins, the Davidsons, because he thought that they could raise each other's abilities in ESP, especially in precogs, and that it allowed them to develop that even if they didn't have exceptional intelligence or something like that. And he says, but we said this wasn't practical. We kind of closed this down, but they're just kind of highlighting that maybe that could have something to do with that. And meanwhile, as they're talking, let's see, this is where this other kid, Harry, comes in and he shoves Avery and is clearly a bully. And Stackhouse is like wanting to go stop the problem before it gets worse. And he's like, what if they get damaged? Which is such an odd way to say that. I don't know. Do you think that was odd, or is it just because Stackhouse is weird? That was just so weird when he said that they might get damaged.
Stackhouse,
like it makes
Stackhouse is
like
right, it's weird.
Yeah, he is, but it makes them sound like they're not human the way he says that. But maybe he doesn't look at them as
well, maybe he doesn't see them as humans.
Yeah, it might be. But Sigsbee's like, well, let's see how they handle it themselves. She wants to run a test and see how they take care of it. But Nikki stands up to him and he's like, I know you're scared, even though of course the kid says he's not. But he's like, apologize to Avery, and then we'll tell you what you need to know. And of course, he does not do what he asks. And I like this part though, because you can tell Nikki's gonna do something smart assed, if he doesn't listen.
Yeah.
And he's clearly not going to. And then that's when George trips him with the tray and he holds him down. And he says, because he says something to him like, with bullies, you have to, I lost where it's at. You've got to cut them down early. So yeah, he asserts his dominance, I guess is the best way to say it. And then the kid finally stops what he's doing, but he doesn't apologize because he goes to throw up before he can do any of that. And they go outside and follow him. And he does apologize at this point after he throws up. And this is when I want to say they're bosses. They're not really their bosses, but they come and get him. And let's see, Nikki says, good luck with Queen Bitch. I'm surprised they don't have to say anything when he badmouths her, but Luke says she'll answer all your questions except for the ones she won't. So that's super helpful, right? And then he says, remember what Coach Finley said before the state semis? I think he said at Montgomery Catholic. But the point is, he knows what the kid's thinking. And afterwards, Avery asks, how do you know what he was thinking? You're a TP. Why didn't you tell us? And he's probably, number one, doesn't know if Avery can keep his mouth shut. But, he didn't want to believe it. But also more than that, he doesn't want them to know, because if they know that he's TP, he'll end up in back half and they're screwed. So he has to keep it under wraps and tells them they have to too. And Nikki asks what the coach did say, and he says, don't lose your temper until it's time to lose your temper. So I like that. So then we go to the scene with Tim. So let me go back to some of this Tim stuff here.
Now Tim questions.
Yeah. Why do you think they wanted to silence Annie? It makes me think she was indeed someone that belonged in the Institute and somehow escaped, or something went wrong. I don't know. This time you answer first. What do you think?
I think that Tim was just the catalyst of it. They probably didn't think anything of her because she just kind of wobbled around the city, lived in a tent, and didn't really bother anybody except for that one woman who lost her daughter. And I think when Tim started becoming more and more friends with her, it was more like, okay, she might slip and tell him something.
Yeah, I think, well, not that, I don't know. I kind of think she might have been telling people all along what was happening, just like she did him. I think it's just no
one listened.
Yeah, no one listened. Nobody believed her. They just looked at her as some old homeless lady and nobody cared. But he is actually listening and questions it and is talking about it to other people. So yeah, I think that's why they finally silenced her. I don't know whether they were watching her or not. I know we've gone through that conversation before, but they could have been. But yeah, she became a problem, so they had to take care of it. And again, I don't know. I would like to think she was in the Institute, but I really don't know. And Jen says, like, meaning Stackhouse House dehumanized them. Yeah, I think that is why. It just was such an odd thing to say. Would they be damaged? Because that's what it did make me think of, like robots or, their equipment or something.
Product.
So yeah, it's I think it is for that reason. I agree. And he's weird. But she says, I think Annie might have been one of the first tryouts of the Institute, and somehow she might have managed to find a way out. Yeah, I do question though if she is, that they weren't watching her, because I feel like if she had escaped, they would definitely have been watching her, but we don't really know. I just hope we get more on Annie and it isn't just like a, something they drop, because she was such an interesting part of the
Or
story.
being older, she might have just like been one they just released because they didn't think it would be that big of a deal,
Yeah,
that
or
she
maybe
didn't
she couldn't
die.
give them what they wanted, so maybe, like, it
Yeah.
didn't work out with her, so they let her go. I mean, who knows? For all we know, it's possible they could intend to let these kids go. I mean, I tend to think not, but, I mean, we don't really know, but, yeah, maybe she escaped and they just let her leave, and I don't know. I feel like they could do a whole show based on Annie, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I like now maybe Annie left hidden messages for Tim to find so he can stop the Institute, or maybe she knew something about him being connected to the Institute. I think that would be really cool if he did find hidden messages left by her. I mean, he looked in her tent. All we know so far is he found the bottle and the map and the papers, but there could be more things that could come out of it. I would agree with that, and that would be really cool. So I hope so. Fletch is my answer. I hope so. Um, let's see. Jen says, like an OG institutor in the mind race didn't last or take well.
Hmm.
Yeah, maybe she wasn't like that until like recently. Like maybe it's wearing off. That's a good point too. Yeah, cool. I didn't think of that.
Or maybe they didn't even mind erase her. Maybe this left her such a shell of a human being that they thought she was just okay walking around doing her thing, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, nobody listened to her. Nobody believed her. I mean, he was the first person who didn't think, oh, what did the chief say? Batshit crazy Annie or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's
She was called Orphan Annie in the books, which is kind of
yeah.
telling in the book. I haven't read the book, but I read that somebody said called her Orphan Annie because that was the name that she had in the book.
That's interesting, and that would make
Yeah.
sense if she was an orphan, that she was somebody
Hmm.
they taught.
Or
Because I
they murder the parents when they take the kids,
maybe, yeah,
and she was an orphan.
Beverly agrees with the mind wipe thing. It makes me wonder, like, why they took Luke, if they took him simply because he was also so smart. Because I would think that, look, I don't know how, often PC or what is it, PC or PK, how often they happen in this world. But I have to wonder that they don't normally try to get kids that nobody cares about, or that wouldn't question it. Because, like, Nikki's like, oh, I grew up in the system. It makes me think that normally maybe they take people that nobody will miss, but he was so smart they wanted to, take him anyway, and that's why it got, messed up. I don't know.
Mhm.
I just kind of wonder. Let's see. Lori says, I think the two cops are in on it. Only Wendy isn't. You mean,
Mhm.
okay, you mean that cop in the background when you say two cops, Drew and the chief. All right, fair. I hope Wendy isn't. Let's see. Kimberly says, I feel like that other guy cop seems kind of naive to things. Yeah, he does sometimes. I don't know. He seems kind of dumb, but he could totally be playing it. Could totally be playing it. And Jen thinks maybe they're paid to look the other way. I don't know. Do you think any of them? You said you don't know about Wendy. What do you think about the other cops, Scarlet?
I don't really have enough information on them to make a decision one way or the other.
All right, that's fair. They don't give us much on the cops except for Wendy. I
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I went back and forth about Wendy, so I can't really. But I think sometimes she seems suspicious to me. Other times she seems just nice, and it seems like she has a crush on him. I don't know. So yeah. Either
Well,
way,
didn't make out with him when she had the chance.
yeah, she almost did. That was cute. I like that scene. So Tim is like, she didn't kill herself. She wants to know what they're going to do about Annie, and this is where he says, you mean that the one who's batshit crazy. So they definitely don't believe her. Never believed her. And Tim makes this comment about she thought it was her superpower, and he says that she thought all kinds of crazy things, like the earth was flat, said she saw the edge of it or something like that. And but Tim, his point is, does it seem like she's somebody that would overdose? Because she said that mind altering substances dull her purpose, and that's why she wouldn't drink or take even antipsychotics. So that's why he thinks that it was, she was made to take it, or they faked it or whatever, because she wouldn't have done that if it were up to her. And the chief just says that, you know, she's on the street, people take drugs, which is really, I mean, that's not untrue, but at the same time, that's really stereotyping that just because she's on the streets means she takes drugs. But that is what he said. And Tim's just like, well, we'll find out in the post-mortem. And he's like, we're not going to do a post-mortem. That would be a lot of money, $3,700 that they don't have. They'd have to send it all the way to Augusta and wait 3 weeks. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. I know what the answer is going to be. And
yeah, I almost thought that Tim was going to stand up here and pay that money to get the test done.
Yeah, I know. I did too. I think he should have been like, I'll pay for it. But he said that, you know, even if he did, he knows what the test is going to say. He doesn't care if Tim likes it or doesn't like it. He knows that he feels a personal connection to her, giving his family history. But yeah, he says that he says that he knows that the night shift as a night knocker can do things to your mind. And he mentions that, and I keep saying, they keep mentioning Whitlock like he was important. And I seriously wonder if he was in one of King's books that they mentioned him so many times. But that Whitlock thought he saw all kinds of stuff when he was walking the beat. And he's like, take the night off. You're not supposed to be a cop. You're supposed to be a night knocker. You're just supposed to check these people are safe. That's your job. That's your whole job. So yeah, he does not want to listen to Tim at all. Let's see. Fletches, would it be so weird if in Harry Potter universe, instead of magic school, they got the kids into this kind of institute and use the kids for experiments? That would be
dark.
It would be sad, yeah, for kids that young. And that was kind of my point before. Like, there's other ways they could do this if it's accurate, to, you know, bribe kids into wanting to help rather than the way they're doing it. But
or even a Hogwarts system.
Yeah, I don't think it's cracked up to be. Would you say a what system?
Like a Hogwarts system, like a nice school, nice uniforms, no torture, perhaps.
Yeah, but they do say in this one, Hendrik says like pain brings out their power or whatever. So yeah, I guess maybe doing it the nice way wouldn't.
Have they ever tried it that way?
I don't know, but it would be nice if they did, and I think they might have a better, you know, it might go well better. I don't know. All right, so outside, Wendy admits that she told what happened to the last night knocker. Wait, Golden Child asked. I don't think they said what happened to him. I think they just said he died. Maybe because he was old, because they implied he was old, but I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I'm honestly sorry. Wait, I gotta change the mode of my air conditioner freezing, or boiling. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think they said. Does anybody in the chat? Do you remember? I don't think they said anything about him. They just keep mentioning his name, and the fact that they keep mentioning his name to me means either it's like an Easter egg. They want you to notice the name, or it was a character maybe that was in like one of King's books that was like important before. So if you know more history, maybe you understand. Kimberly says, I was thinking he died, but the town's suspicious. Jen doesn't remember. I'm pretty sure they said he died. I think that one at the bar said he died, but I don't know. That I'd have to look up for sure, but I'm pretty sure he's dead. Whoops. But anyway, Wendy admits that she did tell their boss about his connection with his mother, that she only did it because she thought that he wasn't doing what he should do necessarily, like he wasn't having the autopsy because he thought Tim was like trying to be like a big city cop, pretty much what she thought when she first met him. And she thought maybe he'd listen if he knew why. But he, you know, it's his story to tell, but she already told half of it, you know. But she does admit that she never saw her take a drink. So she doesn't know that it makes sense, but she does tell him, even though she could get in a lot of trouble, which at this point made me think definitely trust her, but you know, we'll see. But she tells him that the tent's still up and they can't haul it away till tomorrow. So he can sneak and go see what he can find before they destroy the evidence, is basically what she is saying. Let's see. Orphan Annie. That's interesting. It is. Back half is where they enter the from verse. That would be nice, Fletcher. But no, it's not. People, this is not related to from. I can't say that enough. This is not related to from. I know you're just joking, Fletcher, but some people seem to have not gotten that yet. So I'm just making a point, trying to make a point anyway. All right. So he is going to go try to find stuff at the tent and see what he can, see what he can drag up. So then we go back to the two of them are watching her check out, I guess you could say, leave work for the day when they check her bags, because they are sneaking to test Luke. And Tony goes to get Luke and bring him to the dream box, which he is not supposed to have yet because he's not far enough along in the track. But they think he's already TP. They think he's lying. So they are going to try to force him into admitting that he can read minds. Again, not sure that these are the best kind of ways to do it, but that's what they say. So they hook him up to this chair. I wanted to go back and watch this on the screener because I feel like I didn't remember the flashes, and I can't remember if they were on the original or not, but they put him, so this is the dream box. They put him in this box and they project images onto the screen. And this is, I think the one where they're supposed to light up things, right? To make it stop. I don't know. But he does question about it being early, and Tony's just kind of sarcastic about it. But Hendrik says to think of it as garbage day. They'll show images to help him clean house. I don't know, it's supposed to clean his mind. I didn't quite get that. But he says that you may have noticed psychic power is activated and enhanced by pain. But at least I think this is what he said. I was trying to understand everything he said. Joining the hum is separating yourself from your body. So physical pain is counterproductive. So that's why they're using psychic pain. So somehow when they connect to the hum, they're not feeling their pain, I guess, is what he means. So, or they're only connecting psychically. I don't know. It didn't explain it, but he says that like once he does connect to the hum, all the pain will stop. So yeah, that's what they're trying to push. Which the thing I find interesting about this scene, or not interesting, but more annoying about this scene, is they never do say at the end of the scene whether he actually did it or not. They just go on to the next stuff and then show him being brought into his room. So that kind of irritated me. I don't know. I thought that there should have been some kind of resolution before we moved on, but I guess they know you'll figure it out. So yeah, I don't know. But they are going to do the test. And they spin him in the chair and show him these things. Right there, he's telling him about it. And there's a bird which looks like a raven, just making a point, smashing into the screen. These are all things they seem to be, well, not all of them, but some of them seem to be like a first-person point of view, I noticed. Because like they have the bird crashing into the camera. They have the people screaming. They have his parents. It was from the point of view of what he saw, the image. So I don't know. We have a burning building. This makes me think of Firestarter. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything. I don't know if they're just, I don't know. I thought maybe they were just trying to show him scary shit. I'm honestly not sure if that's just the psychic pain. I don't know. Why did you think that like what these images were about? Did you get it? Eye surgery.
See, this is where I was getting kind of confused, because I thought earlier in the series they said it was the thing you feared most or some memory from your life. And I don't know how any of these are some memory of his life. Like there was like some wolves or something running over like parts of dead bodies or something like that. Things that's going towards the screen and screaming.
No, you're right. She did say something about what you fear or about your life. I don't remember exactly what she said.
I thought it was like your worst memories, like reliving your worst memories. And none of these seem like his memories.
They definitely don't, most of them. I'm curious exactly what was said. We need Jim here with the transcript. I know that's a different show, but we need him here with the transcript.
Or we could have gone. Did you take photos of every single thing, a single image, so we could scrutinize everything?
No, the majority of them, but they weren't from, I mean, as far as I know, a bird smashing into him or the fire or eye surgery don't seem to be from his memory. So I'm assuming they're not all from his memory. Fletch says, I see MGM has some weird fetish with children experiments and what we see in the Institute and the sacrifice they did in from. Maybe the people do not like kids. Maybe that's the gist of it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, destroying innocence always gains attention, no matter what show it's on. People will watch that.
It tends
as
to
sick
be
as that is, they will watch
yeah,
that.
no, you're right. And then we see an animal who is potentially dead. I don't know, being eaten by flies. We see.
It reminded me of that really famous clip of a fox decaying that a lot of like things have shown. It was like in a 9 Inch Nails video.
Yeah, I think it might have been in X-Files too, now that you said that. But they have animals.
It kind of makes me feel like it was referencing that at this time.
It's just gross things, I guess. That's his mother. It does show pieces of his parents talking to him, that conversation they had.
That scene they had in the restaurant is his worst fear. I mean, I couldn't figure out like what was trying to tell me.
The only thing I can think of is it's like the last time he saw them. So maybe like he's afraid something happened. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
I feel like it's just like really reaching.
It is. It is. I want to, now that you said that, I do kind of want to go back and see exactly what they said, but I don't remember when that was. That was something Kalisha said in a different episode, wasn't it? I think the last one, maybe.
Really early on. She said something about all the box makes you live. You're like, yeah. You're like,
I'd have to go back through my notes for the other episodes, but I'll try to remember to do that. But yeah, I have written down, there was a bird smashing into the camera, people screaming, there was scratching sounds, like it sounded like chalkboard scratching almost. Birded building, somebody digging into somebody's eye or some kind of eye surgery. I don't know. Animals ripping other animals apart. Yeah, and the pizza place when they're talking about the abyss.
And the pizza place.
The pizza place. That was kind of didn't really fit in. I don't know. So then we go back to Tim, who is in Annie's tent, and he finds the map that she drew and the newspaper about the drowning teens on the red steps, as well as that can of pop or whatever that has lipstick on it, and the vodka bottle was what he took out. So yeah, we'll find out more about that later. So Avery comes in and Luke's like, go away, until he tells him, I got a hold of Kalisha. I can see Kalisha. And he is able to transmit what he sees to Luke. So this is definitely something weird, like new, like a new weird power that Avery has, because he's getting so, strong as a TP that he can, before he could sometimes put things into people's minds, like Twizzlers or whatever, the licorice. So now I guess he can put images in their head. So yeah, he tries to connect to Kalisha and it works. And they're all kind of relieved. They have a reunion. She tells them that she's been in a daze since she's been there. That's probably why I couldn't reach her, and that they all are. And then they talk about the jumpsuit. And she's like, do you think it's because they're washing our clothes so they can let us wear them home? Like, she's really starting to get scared she's going to die too now. The fact that she asked Luke that. And Luke's like,
she did kind of have a Pollyanna attitude about it. Like, oh, they're cleaning our clothes, so we'll go back home.
Yeah, and he's like, they could be fashion too.
Yeah.
So it's, he wasn't really much help, let's be honest. So Avery asks about the noise. At this point, Luke cannot hear the hum, but Avery can, even though they're not there. Now,
so this inner place they're all in. This is green, so it just denotes it's an inner place because it won't look this way to them.
I would assume so, because Avery's still on the bed and she's in her place. I also think that they didn't really let go of their hands either. It looks like, I think they're still holding hands, but he's walking around. So it's kind of, yeah, it's not a real, I would say it's not a real place. I would agree with you. Like an inner place is a good description. Jen says, that's what I think happens in the back half. They all connect and enhance each other, like the way Avery brought Luke with him. What if Avery could move things while being remote projected by Avery? Or I assume you mean Luke could move things by being remote projected by Avery. That would be cool, though, actually. That would be pretty cool.
They all interacted with each other.
Yeah,
I think that's what's eventually is going to happen.
Yeah, and I kind of figured the hum might be all of them together, like. You know, I
Maybe.
mean, not that they're literally humming, but I don't know. At first, I thought it was like an electronic thing, and then I kind of wondered, like, is that like their, I don't know, mind making noises? I don't know how
Like
else
a
to
hive
describe it.
mind? Like a hive mind? Like
Yeah,
the
like a
humming,
hive
they can
mind.
all
I don't know. That was
tap
kind of
into
what
it?
I thought of because he says you have to connect to the hum. So I started
Mhm.
wondering, but you don't really know at this point. But she does say that that you can that's all you can hear. Even the guards can feel it. But she tells him it's way better than the front half in a way because there's no tokens. Wait, where'd it go? I lost it. There's no tokens, no test. Everything's free. There's no more dream box or deprivation tanks. Just which I don't know if she meant what they did to Luke later or if they had other deprivation tanks or not. But she's talking about deprivation tanks. That isn't exactly a deprivation tank. I mean, they deprived him of oxygen, but it isn't what I
Mhm.
would call a deprivation tank. So I'm kind of interested in if there's other tortures we're not seeing. Um, Jen says, thanks, I'm right. Thank you. I'm glad you think I'm right. And the hum is their collective powers and is following a keyhole. Yeah, we keep hearing it. The other thing we keep hearing about is the keyhole. Those are the two things that seem important is the hum and the keyhole. And we don't know a whole lot of what either mean other than guessing. So hopefully that's soon. But anyway, she's like, there's no tests. We just have what they call movie nights. And she asks them, do you know those games that men play on Twitch? I'm not sure if that's the best way to describe a first person shooter game, but sure. And she's like, they're not shooting, they're just living. Like they were brushing their teeth, driving, then doing doctor stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he asked if it was on the screen. And she says, no, the movie screen was from across the exam room. Like someone was filming inside shirt, like it was from the doctor's point of view. And she said something about she could see the doctor's point of view when she closed her eyes. See, I don't know. I kind of started to wonder at this point, like we know that there's maybe like some mind control stuff. At least that's what Annie said. And I
Mhm.
kind of started to wonder, like, are they trying to control this person's mind and that they're, like looking at or whatever? Because they're clearly seeing this stuff from a person's point of view, kind of like how Luke saw the stuff in the dream box a little bit, or at least some of them. So, yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know. It's weird. But Iris is there, and Iris drops a cigarette into her cereal bowl because she's so out of it. And
Yeah,
yeah,
seems like she's having a great time.
yeah, she does. Avery, who is able to go into her head even though he's not there. So that is kind of interesting and makes me think of what Jen was saying about, could he projects somebody and then them use their
Mhm.
power. But he says
Well,
that something's
he's already been
wrong.
in that dog's head from the dog's
That's true.
perspective.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, to think that he can project somebody or go into their head and he can make like while he's there, make them do something is kind of interesting.
Yeah, like
But
crash a plane.
yeah, like like crash a plane. Yeah, that's kind of what I
Mhm.
think this is coming to. Like they're doing these
Mhm.
things. But anyway, he says that there's something wrong inside her head. And she says that the movie nights make you feel clear at first, which is why she was able to contact them. But the headache that comes back is worse every time. And she's been through too many movie nights and that they're going to move her on soon. She'll lead a sparkler night, whatever that is, and then go to the recovery room, which they realize is where that hum is coming from. That even it sounds like I got out of it. Even Luke can, oops, not yet. Even Luke can hear it now. And she's like, "What's behind that door, Avery?" And they want him to look, but he's scared to look, and he breaks
Mhm.
apart and ends the vision, the connection, whatever you want to call it, because he was too scared to look. Um,
So do you think Sparkler Night is when they become like a mechanized weapon for the government to do
yeah,
whatever they want them to do, like
I would
assassinate
definitely
people?
think that Sparkler Night is like where it culminates, like the end of it, or like whatever it is they're having them do, or
Mhm.
the last time they do it. Because she says after that they go in recovery. I'm kind of assuming when they go in recovery is when they don't come back.
Mhm.
But I was gonna say, oh, he didn't want to keep looking. He pulled himself apart because he was scared. And this is where I watch too many other shows because I'm looking at the elements on that pillow and thinking,
Oh.
is magnesium and cobalt important? Probably not, but it's hard not to do it when you keep doing this too many
I'm just
times.
thinking of Breaking Bad now for some reason.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I just started looking at the symbols and was like, Yeah, I think I don't think there's any deep meaning into it, but all right. So then we go back to Sigsbee, who is watching them. And they are all outside. And let's see. They're talking to George and Nikki. Avery and him are talking to George and Nikki about what happened. George asks about there being no dream box, and he's like, well, this is good. It's better back there. Who cares about if you don't know what's going on, like from the Ashen or cereal. He's like, who cares if it takes a toll? Then we get to go home. So he's clearly still holding out hope that everything will be okay. And Nikki's like, nah, not going to happen. We can't trust him. But they need to know what's behind that door. And then they start talking about, as they're doing this here, they start talking. Here, I got a couple more to go through. About Harry there, who is bonded with the girls. And that it's weird the way they're acting. And I don't know if George was trying to make some kind of sexual joke. I didn't quite get what he meant, because he says, I hope he's not interfering with them. And he said, your grandma's never made you watch Dateline? Did you understand what the hell he was talking about?
Yeah, to catch a predator.
Well, that's what I meant. So he meant like something sexual, I think. I don't know. It was weird. But he's pushing them on the swings, and Avery reads his mind, and he says that Avery had Cocker Spaniels back home, and they're like his substitutes. And Nikki says, I don't know what his dogs are like, but they run him. So I guess they both kind of think the opposite, that Nikki thinks that the girls are running him, and Avery thinks that he thinks of the girls as pets. So I don't know. They're both not good, but it starts storming. So either way, the conversation is about over. Definitely catch a predator reference. Okay, so it was meant to be something sexual. I don't know. It was just weird the way it was said, the way he said interfering. It was like they wanted to say it without saying it. I don't know. But yes, they're always drinking the Institute Kool-Aid. And they're all kind of, hopefully they realize they shouldn't be so complacent. But so.
Oh yeah, here's another Shining reference. A NASA shirt that's similar to the NASA shirt that the kid wore in The Shining.
Okay. Yeah, he was definitely too old to be hanging out with them. You're right about that. Did he? I don't remember. Like I said,
there's this whole thing about Kubrick's The Shining that's supposed to be about like the moon landing not being real. And there's all these clues in the movie. And one of the clues is the child with the Shining, can't remember the kid's name, is running around in a little a trike around the hotel and has a NASA shirt on, exactly like the one that Luke's wearing.
I did not realize that he had a NASA shirt.
There's a lot of Shining in this episode.
There is. Well, there's a lot of King Easter eggs. I will say I wish there was less. Not that I don't like Stephen King, I do. But I wish there was less King Easter eggs and maybe a couple from Easter eggs, but there have not been.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus King didn't even like Kubrick's Shining, so it's interesting to have the references.
Yeah, well, but that might have been something from the book, probably. So Sigsbee wants to talk to him after everybody else goes inside. I think the movie is called Room 227 or something like that.
There is a documentary
on the moon.
I've seen it.
Okay, cool. Interesting. Yeah, we gotta look up all this
It's
stuff.
the name of the room where the I don't know what they call her, kind of the ghoul witch is in the Shining movie.
Yeah, I don't think
it's different in the book. The number's different in the book than in the movie. Because Kubrick loves changing things.
Oh, well, that's why he didn't like it, right? Because he changed it.
I guess he likes it now. Maybe Dr. Sleep has something to do with that. Or like Flanagan magic, and then King is totally okay with it now.
I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen the full Shining movie. Like, I think I've seen it in pieces.
We should watch it. We should watch it sometime.
I should. I might have. I feel like I watched it, but like not all at once. Like I feel like I watched part of it here and part of it there, and never really got into it enough to to sit down and watch the whole thing.
Because we should watch that and then watch Dr. Sleep right after, because that's a good double feature.
Yeah, I know I had wanted to watch Dr. Sleep. That was, in all honesty, that was probably when I tried to watch it and then just never finished it. because I know like I've over the years
Yeah.
seen pieces, but I feel like I saw more of it recently. Yeah, so I don't know. It's been a while, but I should watch it. So yeah.
Trying to share a cigarette with him. That's like got some innuendo in that also.
Yeah, you shouldn't be giving kids smokes.
What should we put? I think that not giving them smokes is the least thing they have to worry about in this instance.
I know. Just kidding. But she wants to talk to him alone. And he's like, should we go in the office? And he knows that she only wants to be out there because no one can listen. He's smart and figured it out. Let's see. He says she shouldn't smoke. It's bad for you. She says sometimes it's fun to be bad. And this is where she says, some of your test scores are not corroborating, I still can't say that word, with the progress you're making. Do you know why? And then he's like, your smoke's ruining the petrichor. Now, I do know petrichor is the smell, like after rain, the smell outside.
Yeah, there's a board game named that, where you have to do stuff with the environment, with the water. It's called petrichor.
I've not heard of. Heard of petrichor, but not a game called petrichor.
Oh, it's a fun game.
Cool. No, I have not heard of that. So he says that he read an interview with a chess player that said he likes to know about his opponents, what they would do if they were caught in the rain. If they would go inside, he would play an open wild game and they'd lose. If they stayed outside, he figured they were drawn to chaos and he would play a closed game until they ran out of patience and lose. Which she also says she loves the rain. I don't know if that's relevant. But he just
happy
says,
when it rains.
I like that song.
It kind of describes her.
Yeah, it kind of does. Actually, yeah, it kind of does. Garbage. No, I mean,
yeah.
not garbage doesn't describe her. I mean, the song, you know what I mean.
Well, also garbage.
Yeah. But
The word garbage.
but he says that the tests he thinks are bullshit, and so's the place. And she's like, not the enemy, Luke. And he finally figures out when she asks, I don't know why it's suddenly so hot in here. She starts asking him about if they put him in the dream box. And he's like, you should know this. Why aren't they telling you things? And she's like, well, there's no cameras. I got to trust my people. But he knows that she doesn't know if she can trust them. And he kind of eggs her on and won't really answer her. And he's like, why would he go? Why would he try to undermine you? Is he trying to replace you? So yeah, he won't really give her anything. And other than he knows that she thinks they're going against her. But he won't help her and she won't tell him anything either. And she just says he can't win. So yeah, they're kind of got a lot of back and forth there where neither is giving either anything, right? So that was an interesting conversation that kind of went nowhere, honestly. So then Tim goes to see Wendy. Sometimes I wonder, and I know they do it in all these shows, but like, how they go back and forth with scenes, like they show part of one scene, part of the next scene, part of one scene, part of the next scene. Like I get when they do that and it's to build tension and stuff. But sometimes I feel like they do it too much and I wish they'd play more of one scene. Like the whole part of that scene was just him saying, I hope it's not weird, I'm here. And she's like, why would it be weird? It lets him inside. Like, why couldn't they have tacked that onto the other scene, I don't know. It just irritates me sometimes when they do that. Partially irritates me just because it's hard to write in a recap because I'm writing so much. And I'm like,
yeah.
So Tony is helping Harry back to his room after he is sick. And Luke's like, he needs a doctor. He's in bad shape. And he's like, shut up. Basically he's telling him to mind his own business. And the kid does throw up, and he has more income. But yeah, he knows Luke seems to sense something's wrong and they, as normal, don't care. When Maureen comes up, she says that, he says that she can drop the aw shucks routine because he knows what they do there. And she leads him away after he says that. Now, that's like a confirmation. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so I have this thing about this door. Okay, so this door is staying shut for a long time and it's green. So when exactly does it go red? Because it's red later on in the episode. But throughout this whole scene, it never goes red.
Interesting. Yeah, red's usually locked. Is that the room he put Harry in?
Yeah, he put the kid in there, the bully kid in there. And I was like, it's going to go red eventually, isn't it? And it just didn't go red. And I think that's how the kids just are able to go into rooms when there's a screen and walk in on each other, because it seems like they can.
Yeah, it
But
seems
it's
like they
read some other
can.
times.
Yeah, because Avery went into Luke's room. I mean, I would
Yeah.
say normally maybe there's a lock on the inside, but like they can override it, I guess. I don't know. I think it was probably just a continuity error, to be honest, but that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't notice it, but yeah, it's definitely green there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have to try to pay more attention to the locks on the doors. But yeah, Avery went into Luke's room earlier, so I would assume that normally they're not locked. But yeah, maybe they feel they want them to be adults. Maybe they feel like they can give them some privacy by letting them feel like they're locking them out when they're not. I don't know.
Or the kind of an idea of freedom, but they don't really have freedom.
Yeah, or like Jen said, maybe it's a curfew and they lock them or something.
Okay, so yeah, that could be something.
I really don't know. But I feel like Maureen pretty much confirms that there's something bad going on there in a way, because he's like, I know what happens here. Like, this is, I feel like, one of those things where he wants her to be like, oh yeah, blah, 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 and give it away, right? Like, people do that a lot in shows, but she doesn't. But she does take him to the ice machine, and she says, you can't talk anywhere but here or out in the playground. So there are no microphones now. We know that in those two places. Jen said, wasn't the door locked at the end of the episode with the girls and the new guy? I think that was when you meant it was locked, didn't you?
Yeah, it was locked because they couldn't get in right away. They had to get somebody to open it.
Yeah, so at some point it locked, or he locked it or something. Although I also, now that you said that, I also have a problem. Like we said, he's older to be like talking to those girls. Why are the girls in his room when it's locked?
Yeah, that is weird.
I have a problem with that too. See, that's something that I think is just like sloppy script, because those girls should not have been in the room alone with him with the door locked. Yeah, that's really weird. It's a plot hole. I agree. I agree, Jen. I think it's a plot hole. I hate when they do that. Like, why not? Right, it doesn't look right. I agree. Well, hey, it's like Revival. She lets the girl stay overnight with her kid. And he's like, what age? We've had this conversation before. But yeah, anyway, she basically tells them that they can't hear them at the ice machine or out on the playground. And she says that you don't know who's watching otherwise. And he says that she's the only one of them that feels ashamed, and asks why she doesn't blow the whistle. And she says, like, to who? You have no idea what they're capable of. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. I gotta answer a text. Sorry. And cough.
Yes.
I feel like I'm having a bad allergy. I can feel all the crap in my throat.
Yeah, the Renaissance Fair I went to yesterday apparently had air quality problems due to Canadian wildfires.
Oh, geez, yeah.
On top of it being super hot and super humid.
Well, it's
so
there. Say hello. It's been really humid here, because I was saying to somebody, the water in the pool the other day was like over 90, and again, we do not have a heater. That's like just from a regular solar cover, solar cover for that matter. So it's been way too humid. I mean, I like it.
I didn't know how people were dressed up like pirates and dancing around at the end of the fair. I was like, I could barely move.
Yeah,
and I was just sweating my eyeballs.
Don't want to stay out unless you are like in the water or whatever. But I was enjoying it until it started storming, and I had to leave. Had to get out.
That was the one thing that was good, Jamie, is it didn't storm, because I said it was going to be thunderstorms all day. It barely even rained. So that was the only good thing about it.
It was storming here.
Well, I mean, I can see my friends and having a good time with pirates, because pirates are always fun.
Yeah, except when it's really hot. Then it's not fun, right? Then you don't want to do it. So he asks about her son. He's picked up on this. I'm assuming he read her mind. I mean, they don't say that, but I'm assuming he did. And she talks about her kid, Jacob, who everyone made him call. He made everybody call him Jake because he was a kid. And that's where he says, I'm a kid, we're kids, I'm not your son, but I could be, and anybody else could be, so he's trying to kind of get her to side with him. And she's like, I can't do anything. I'm a glorified janitor. And he says that she's stronger than she thinks. So yeah, I don't know. Do you think eventually they're going to turn, Maureen? What do you think about that? Scarlet, you there?
Hello?
Scarlet? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you repeat it again? My audio kind of got weird.
Oh, okay. No, I just said, do you think that they're going to be able to get help from her, that they'll be able to turn her or whatever? I was just curious what you thought.
I think so, because I have a feeling. Okay, so Avery said she's full of secrets. Kind of Twin Peaks, she's full of
Yeah.
secrets. So she must have, maybe they can read something on her that they might be able to help her with, and then maybe it could be a you scratch my back, I scratch yours sort of deal.
There. Well, she clearly is somebody who feels bad about them, if nothing else. But it's not enough because she hasn't, done anything to help them. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But he's trying. She's the only one they've approached because they don't want to screw everything up. So now we have Tim, who has brought the vodka bottle to Wendy and asks if she sees anything stand out on it. And she says she drinks the good stuff. I don't know if that was sarcasm. Isn't $11.99 cheap for vodka?
Yeah, I think that was bottom shelf when she was being sarcastic.
Okay, I thought so, but it wasn't entirely sure. I don't buy vodka, but I kind of thought so. I thought it was more than that. But he says,
like, oh, she drinks the good stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, but he shows her that the lipstick is on
the
can. He shows her that the lipstick is on the can of whatever that is, and then says, "Have you ever seen her without her makeup?" Which she admits she hasn't. So he thinks that could mean that they funneled it down her throat, or it could mean it's not even in her system. Maybe they just left it at the scene of the crime. He doesn't say that, but I don't know. But either way, he says, maybe they gave it to her to shut her up. And then she said, "What, did NASA have her killed because of the truth about the moon landings?" And then he tells her that no, she knew about the plane crash before it happened. And he also shows her, whoops, that's not the paper. Shows her the
another
paper.
reference to The Shining and that documentary about The Shining.
Yeah, the NASA thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So he shows her the papers about the red steps, kids, the map, and he asks what she remembers. Hey, Doc, thanks for dropping by. Asks what she remembers, and she gets out the yearbook, and she did not know the kids that died, but they were in her yearbook. She said she was a frosh. I assume that means a freshman, and they were seniors.
Yeah, that's a weird way of saying it. I've never said frosh.
Yeah, I've not heard that slang, but I assumed it meant freshman.
Can you read their names here? I can't really read their name.
Ruth Nelson, Zoe Sloan, which was the one, Michael Hall, and George King.
Oh,
yeah, I think it was Michael Anthony Hall. Yeah, George King, maybe. So yeah, there's two close-ups. I don't know why I took a close-up of the one and not the other, but there you go. But it says, oh, I know why, because it's saying no Trapon. We use it in our high school, but it's old, like 90s old. I don't know. I mean, I went to high school in the 90s. I just never heard it said that way. For whatever reason. But he asks about that no Trapon. He pronounces it and says our bread. He thinks it means, I don't know. She says it was an inside joke. They never understood it, but that was a joke that those kids had between themselves. And then he sees somewhere in her yearbook, there's like hearts all around a picture, and he starts teasing her, and then they almost kiss.
Whose picture was it? Did you see
I didn't get a picture of that. I thought that I did, but I didn't.
I didn't know if it was somebody who was still in the town.
I don't know. I missed getting a picture of that for whatever reason. Sorry, but it just had hearts all around it, and he like grabs the yearbook and he's teasing her, and they kind of get close, like they're almost going to kiss. And then she's like, I got to go. Your shift's going to start. I got to eat dinner. And then he's like, can I borrow your car? I had forgotten that he didn't have a car. So yeah, he needs to borrow her car. Let's see. Night knockers hit the spot, bouncing hot, never stop. Knockers got to play. Train can't contain, busting frames to claim the fame, let the good times rain. Did you write that or did you use AI? I mean, either's fine. I'm just curious, but yeah, that's I can't rap though. I don't know that I could do it justice, but that's cool, Doc.
Doc, you can always call in and do some rapping if you wish.
Yes, you can. If you want to call in, let us know and I'll give you the StreamYard. But that's great. That's awesome. But yes. So I thought this scene was cute. I kind of wondered. I just wondered because I did that for when I was trying to do, I did it for the theme for Sci-Fi Vision. I'm basically eventually gonna post. I kind of wrote my own and took some pieces from ideas from things, but I tried to make a Murderbot song and it sounded bad. It did not work. It was too emo, so I never posted it. But
the thing is, you need to talk to me about it and run it off of me and back and forth, and then we can make it better.
Okay, yeah, we could do that. But if they're not singing it, you'd have to sing it because I ain't singing.
I'll sing. I'll sing, and everybody will leave the yard.
But I tried to do it with Sci-Fi Vision. I don't know. Most of it, I ended up just writing the lyrics. It did not work out well. I think it depends what you're doing. It does good if you write the lyrics, though, singing it for you. I think that's what I eventually want to use, but I ended up writing it. Okay, so Luke, let's see. So Luke is dreaming, or we think he is, and then he sees these girls trying to help Harry, and he knocks the tray away, and then he smashes one of them in the face with a barbell. And
you would think they wouldn't let them have things like heavy barbells in their rooms.
I have questions with some of that. Because you're right, you would think they wouldn't, but I guess they were trying to make it exactly like their room and people like him to fall for it. But like, couldn't they have used like a fake weight that wasn't heavy or something? You know.
It's a third
but
party.
I question that also though because Avery had a plastic knife too, which I thought was a little bizarre. But anyway, he whacks one of them, and it was brutal. He whacks him in the face with the barbell. And Luke sees it, and I guess Luke thought he was hearing their thoughts, or it was what was happening right now, I guess, is what he thought. But when he yells for them, they're like, "What do you want? Get mad." And they eventually break in, and it happens as they open the door. He smashes the girl in the face with the barbell. And they tase him, and why they hold him Luke back is beyond me. I didn't quite get why they were holding him back. Like, Luke's not the one that did it. What the hell? So maybe they didn't want him to hurt Harry. I don't know. But they did tase Harry. The other girl's like, he didn't mean to. I don't know if she could read his mind and knew he didn't, or if she's just really naive. I didn't quite get if he was supposed to have meant, because like I said earlier, the issue I have with this scene is, to me, it played out very much as he didn't feel good and he has anger issues and he smashed it into her face. It didn't feel like it was from their experiment. It didn't even feel like their fault. And I know you're supposed to blame them, but I don't know. I felt like he was just a kid that had a temper. I don't know. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like after he reacted afterwards. I don't know. I mean, it makes you feel like he just is violent. The way that his whole attitude was, when he first came in, he was just so combative, and
it was, yeah. And
I mean, I feel so bad for that girl.
Yeah, and like I said before, I kind of question like that they aren't bringing people from like, with not great home lives, or that are like problem children, and that's why I don't feel like it was necessarily. Jen says it felt like he did it intentionally, not like he was out of it and did it. It was crazy. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. I mean, not that he necessarily. I guess not that I necessarily thought he did it on purpose, but like that he did it because he has an anger issue. Like, I don't know that he wanted to hurt the girl, but yeah, I definitely think that it wasn't, other than he didn't feel good and he was annoyed, so he smashed her and it was his fault. Because I didn't feel like the next day, like I felt like it was more Sigsby saying everything's just peachy, not that it wasn't their fault, because I didn't feel like it was their fault. He just seemed like he was mad, and I did, that didn't play right to me at all.
Maybe they're bringing in kids like that to just up the ante where everyone else, like everybody else, gets charged up because of it and gets better TP and TK and PC because of it.
Maybe, but I don't think they wanted that to happen though, because they want the kids to be able to do whatever, and if they're dead, they can't. But
Yes.
yeah, she tells him, she's like, I know you were disturbed by the unfortunate event. And she goes through this whole thing of like, he had a seizure, and that when they tried to comfort him, he inadvertently did that, and that she had head trauma, and they're all fine. And she accepted his apology, which, that kid did not apologize. We know from the way he acted with Avery. So that was a lot of bullshit. And yeah, they're just like, yeah, they agree with her because she makes some. I forgot to take a picture. There was a picture of like a humongous stack of pancakes that they gave them for breakfast, and it made me think of waffle.
Yeah.
I thought I took a picture of it. I did not. I meant to.
But you
So
didn't
I'm
get to
sorry.
eat those pancakes. That's the thing.
Probably not. I don't know that they felt like eating pancakes. I don't know. But there's a lot of pancakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Doc said, maybe if I ever read all of King's works, I can run a tabletop RPG based in Kingverse or whatever it's called. That would be cool. I don't know enough about King. Like I've said before, I've read some or watched. I haven't read. I've watched some movies and series. I think I may have read Cujo. Was see? I don't know unless I talked to somebody who read it. I think it was Cujo. If Cujo was the one that also had another dog that was a good dog that could like talk, sort of communicate, then that was what I read. I'm not sure if it was a King book or it was a Dean Koontz book. It's possible that I'm mixing up books, but I read that book.
I don't remember a secondary dog in Cujo.
Then maybe
that could
it is
talk.
a book. It might not be Stephen King. I've watched a good bit of his movies, but that's that's about it. I mean, there's the X-File episode that was based on his stuff, but that's
because Cujo is supposed to be a Saint Bernard in the book.
Yeah, that's why I was starting to wonder if maybe I mixed up books about dogs. It must have been a Dean Koontz book then. It was about a dog who could communicate with the people. I think psychically. I can't remember, but it was a long time ago. I read it. I was probably in high school, so it was a long time ago.
But that dog didn't have rabies.
No, it didn't have rabies.
Or also communicate. I have rabies.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, I got a message for the dog. Oh shit, the dog's got rabies.
Yeah, let's get away from this dog.
Yeah.
So Luke goes with Avery to the ice machine, and he's like, I fucked up, but Avery says he's brave. But he's like, how do I explain what was going on? The guards were closer than he was and didn't hear what was going on. So they're going to know that he has TP. Now, this is where I guess Watchers, that was it. It was Dean Koontz. Okay, you're right.
Okay.
You're right, Doc.
Yeah.
It was Watchers I read. Okay, I read Watchers. I did read part of what's the one Dreamcatchers? I did read part of Dreamcatchers though, but I didn't read it all. I remember reading the beginning of it and not finishing it. So
I think both Dreamcatcher and Watchers have movies based on them as well.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw Dreamcatchers, but and Watchers for that matter. But I had read. I actually read Watchers. So anyway, he knows they're going to know the STP because he knew it, I guess, by reading their minds. I do question though, which they did not explain, that he does seem to be precog, but nobody knows this because they saw it happen like as the door opened, and he didn't say, oh, he's going to hit her in the head. He just said they're in trouble. So nobody actually knows what he saw to know that he saw it ahead of time. So I don't think anybody knows he's precog. I think they just know he's TP. Always wanted a golden retriever. Yeah, that'd be cool. I remember that. Yeah, I remember reading it and liking it. I'm not a big reader, so like that's why when I say like I haven't read them, like I read that and that was the only one I ever read of King Koontz's books. I think at the time.
Whereas I went to a library sale today and get a big grocery bag full of books for $5.
Yeah, I don't tend to do that. I would like to, but I don't read that much. I mean, I've read some things, but I'm not a huge reader. But at the time, I think I read it at the time because I remember my friend Leslie, who was like my best friend at the time. We were both like huge into X-Files. That's how I had met her. And I know that she said that he referenced it a lot in his books. And I think that was why I decided to read one, I'm guessing. But again, it was so long ago, I just don't remember. Do the kids in the front half even know the PC term? I feel like they just keep saying TK or TP. I don't think they realize they're trying to do both. No, I don't think Well, I think they know they're trying to do the opposite. They're trying to build up their TK or TP, but I don't think they know what PC means either. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think they knew that Luke saw the future. I mean, Luke knew it because he asks Avery here, "Did you ever see something before something happened?" And he says, "No, I don't think so." So he knows it, but do they know the term PC? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think. But he's worried they're going to know he's TP. I was more worried they're going to know he's PC, but like I said, I don't think he ever said what was happening, so I don't think they have a way of knowing. I don't know. But he's worried because
I thought they were supposed to build up the other side. They came in TP. They were supposed to bring up the TK, and if they're
yeah.
TK, they were supposed to bring up the TP because for some reason TP plus TK equals PC.
Well, they're definitely
Like once you build them up a little bit together, you get the precog.
Okay, see, I don't know. I didn't take it that way. I mean, I definitely took it that if they come in TP, they're trying to build up the TK and vice versa. Because that's why he doesn't want them to know he can read minds. But I don't know that that necessarily equals PC. There was something to do with they were testing PC before and they stopped doing it for whatever reason. So I don't know. That might be something separate. I'm honestly not sure. Sometimes the books films are based on can be disappointing. I tried reading The Howling, but it has too much essay type material, and I stopped reading it before they even get to the horrible place. You know what? I think the problem is I've always thought before. I think that if you read the book before you see the show, a lot of times you like the book better. But sometimes if you see the show first, then the book isn't as good as you expected.
But Doc, if you could do me a favor, if you haven't seen Howling 2, your mother's a werewolf or your sister's a werewolf, you need to watch it because it has Christopher Lee in it.
Cool.
And werewolf orgies.
And werewolf orgies. Well, that's always a good thing. Okay.
And death rock music. It was perfect for me.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've seen that or not. I'm not sure.
Do you know it if you saw it, Jamie.
No, I meant the original one. No, I did not
it.
see the werewolf orgy. I meant I don't know if I saw the original Howling. I know I didn't see a werewolf orgy. That I would remember. You were right.
You'd also have the song from Howling 2 in your head because it's really catchy.
Okay. No, I don't think I've seen it, either of them. Do you think Nick can see into the future a little bit? I have to ask Jen, why do you think that though? Like because he knows something might be happening to them, or I'm curious why you think that. I don't know. I didn't think he could, but I don't know. Did you think he could? I didn't get that opinion, but could be wrong.
Oh, what was the question? Sorry.
Do you think Nick can see into the future at all? Or a little bit?
I don't know. I honestly think the only one with PC right now is Luke.
Yeah, that's kind of
unless Shaw starts to get it being where she is.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, because he's waiting for the kid that was powerful. I forgot he said that. I thought that was more just like him saying he needed to find somebody that was strong enough to get them out of there and nobody else was willing to try. I didn't take it quite. But he did say that, so I don't know. How did you take that statement?
I almost feel like they heard that and then sent Avery to him. Like really oddly enough.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when we throw this kid in. Yeah.
But Maureen did imply they can't hear them out in the. But then again, she could be lying too. We don't know. So yeah. Tony comes up and is like, "You shouldn't be talking there." And then meanwhile, Tim is following Annie's map again, like quick things. And yeah, it's a good point. He said it the day before Avery came. Yeah. It could be. They could have listened. They could be listening to, even though she thinks they can't or said they can't, or it could just be foreshadowing. It's hard to tell. But Tony brings Luke in and they're going to do another experiment. They want to prove he's TP and he's like, "No, I'm TK. I don't have any TP." The thing I question is he says that he cannot control his TK even yet. He says, "I'm not even TK positive." So I was kind of wondering, was that part a lie too, and he's just hiding it? Because he doesn't seem like he has any telekinesis abilities he can control either. But I would think that if he started to get the TP abilities, he probably can and just, I guess, isn't showing it. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so.
I just, that was one thing I wondered when he made that statement. Let's see. Kimberly says, I think Nick is analytical, like he knows what he needs for the best defense and offense. Yeah, he's used to fighting, I think. He's used to not having anybody on his side, so he's always on the offense. So anyway, he is telling Luke that once he's seen the dots, that means that their other ability developing, that's the way it's always been, and he knows that that's the case, and he knows he's lying. And he said that a galvanic fear reaction would be helpful in generating an authentic response. So in other words, they're going to put him in this tank and prove that he's lying. And I do want to say, because I mentioned this at the beginning of the season, I thought that they showed this in the trailer, which is the only reason I said that. They showed it in the trailer. But Sigsbee has like these pencil cases on her desk that look just like these tanks, and I think it was like a little kind of joke foreshadowing that this was going to happen. But so they put him in the tank, and Tony turns it up the nitrogen and down the oxygen. Each time he doesn't tell them what they want to know. And basically they try to get him to talk about what animal or what sports team Hendrix is seeing. And he says he doesn't know, he can't see it. And they're basically going to keep torturing him until he tells them the truth, try to force him to tell the truth. So yeah, he basically suffocates over and over again, and they keep lengthening the time. He says, I'm not TP, I'm TK, not even TK positive. Yeah, I don't know. I did not like that part. I found it hard to watch. They're doing that to him. I didn't like it. But I get why they're doing it. But I mean, this is like they're torturing kids. This is a bit much for me, for them to be doing, to try to get what they want, that they could have gotten it a bit slower. But they don't trust him.
That's a little bit too much. From the thing on the ear to the other test to this test.
Yeah, but this was like, I don't know. I just found this hard to watch compared to the other stuff. Meanwhile, Tim is still following the map, and he finds a no trespassing sign. And
it says Notra. Notra pain.
It does. I wonder if that's where they got it from. I didn't even see that.
You didn't see that? I saw it the first time. It was like going to be like.
Well, I'm guessing like Notre Dame or whatever is probably like a real French thing. But yeah, they probably got it from. It probably didn't actually mean what they thought it meant. Then it probably came from the sign. That is good. I did not see that, and I've watched it already and didn't see that. So that's really good. I didn't see that. Very good, Scarlet. Very good.
Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, he's still suffocating, tells him he can't see anything, doesn't know what he's saying. And then let's see. Meanwhile, in the storage room, she is talking to Hendrix. This is after he already let him back. I'm sorry, I skipped something. That's not yet. So Tony starts screaming, and he's like, you don't even have to tell us what you see. Just tell us the truth that you can see stuff or that you're TP. And he starts screaming, and Hendrix looks at him like, you're gone too far and you're insane. And he's like, tell Maureen to take him back. So they finally quit. So he passed the test, and yeah, they don't know for sure if he was lying. They don't know. And then Sigsbee is telling Hendrix that she knows they've been giving Luke tests they're not supposed to, gave him the dream box before they were supposed to, and running him through the PC track. And at first he tries to blame Stackhouse. He's like, well, it wasn't initially his idea, but he's the one that told me to keep going.
At first I thought he was just saying that he just dropped the Viagra and was ready to go.
Oh yeah, he did say that too. He said he popped Daddy Over. Yeah, he popped Viagra first. So he was ready to go. She wanted to talk. This was all, ruse to get him to talk. But he tries to blame Stackhouse because he's like, he told me to keep going after you told me to stop. Like, like he isn't capable of saying no, apparently. But he questions, she hasn't told the bosses. She's like, no. And he's like, please don't. I'll swear I'll shut it down. And she's like, well, then tell me what they're planning to do with Luke once they make a precog. And he says they're going to sell him off to the highest bidder. He doesn't know doesn't know who. But he says that his IQ makes him optimistic, but his PC development is slow. And he says that he didn't pass the TP test. Like, he didn't show that he had TP, even though Tony choked him 7 times. And she's like, well, send him anyway. He's just not admitting it. He's lying. And he's like, well, that's a risk. I find it weird that Hendrix, I don't know that Hendrix cares so much as Hendrix thinks, well, if he really isn't TP, then they're going to kill him and then we won't be able to do anything with him. I think it's probably more what it is. But yeah, he's like, we don't know. We can't prove it. So finally, she just says, fine. He says, we have to find a way to push him to find out. And, she says to leave it to her. So I'm taking that she's going to do something that is going to make him reveal if he's TP or not, right?
Mm.
And then we go back to Avery saying he saw Luke dying or felt Luke dying, and he said he wasn't dying. But when Maureen comes in and brings him there, Avery reads her mind, and then he sees, crap, I did not get a picture of what she saw. Sorry. I thought I did. But she's having a flashback. It looked like she's wheeling somebody into that recovery room. I think it was probably that Greta or that Gerda or whatever it looked like it might have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But either way, he's like, I know what's behind the door. I saw it in Maureen's head. And that is where it ends. Yeah.
It always ends really abruptly, too. Like, I think that's going to be more of the scene and then just cuts the credits.
Yeah. They are good at cliffhangers, They are good at their cliffhangers. So, yeah, I don't know. Predictions or anything else? What did you guys in the chat, what did you think of the episode? Did you like it a lot? What do you think? What do you give it on a scale of 1 to 10? I think it was good. I think it was, like I said before, I think a little bit moved a little bit further than last week. But yeah, I don't know. I like this show, but like I've said before, I saw it in big chunks as opposed to like once a week. And I kind of sometimes am wondering if I would have felt it was slow if I was watching it once a week. I don't know, since I didn't. I don't know. Do you think it's moving fast enough or is it moving slow for you?
It feels like it's moving slow for me, but I mean, I kind of like to see another episode, like 2 episodes at a time.
Yeah, it would make it easier if you could. Jen gives it a 7 and says it was better than the last few episodes. I do think it was better because more happened. But yeah, any predictions or anything, Scarlet?
So Wendy and Tim will get together eventually?
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking that too when I saw it.
What is he gonna find at the Notre Dame?
No, Notre Dame, whatever it is. Yeah. I think Tim is getting closer to whatever it is that went down. And I kind of assume that they're probably going to figure out that Luke is TP. The question is, can he do whatever it is they're going to do before he gets sent to the back half? That's kind of the big thing. Or,
something's got to happen eventually, because like this doesn't have a lot of episodes, right? This is 4.
Nope, halfway done. There's 8, I believe.
Yeah, because there's going to be a course between the Everyman and Everyboy. That should pretty much happen by the next episode, I would think.
Yeah, I think that the 2 of them are going to cross paths eventually. I think that's
like either he gets out or gets over the fence or under the fence or something, and then Tim walks in there and finds him or something.
Yeah, Jen says I definitely want to see Tim get into the Institute. Yeah, I would agree. Either Tim goes to the Institute or maybe Luke gets out, something. But they're definitely gonna get connected somehow. Maybe Tim will see Tony transferring walking Luke to the back half and it stops and rescues him. That'd be interesting. I like Golden Child. It never matches
Tim does have TP. Tim does have TP in season.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But, no, that's okay. It doesn't match up to the previews. It's because they want you to be surprised. I don't know. I don't watch usually the trailers because they didn't have a trailer though when we watch it. Like, where do they even have the previews? Unless they put them on after, because when we watched on MGM, it didn't have a preview, did it?
I don't think it has anything afterwards. I don't think it has a featurette or anything.
Yeah, unless maybe you watch it on the network, like on off of streaming on the actual linear, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a preview. Now, what were you saying? I didn't mean to cut you off. You started to say something, and I said something.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We were talking about Tim and the meeting up. I don't remember after that, quite honestly. A long weekend.
Yeah, it has been. All right. Well, if anybody has anything else, or you have anything else, otherwise, I guess
What do you think is behind what he's seeing? What do you think he saw, Jamie?
I think it looked like either Greta or Gerda being taken back there for whatever.
Oh, I thought that he saw something else, though. I thought that he saw
well,
what was back there.
He might have. That I can't even remember, to be honest, but that's what it looked like to me. But I don't want to say too much because I know what's back
Do
there.
you see the crematorium? I mean, there's theories that these kids are getting, cremated after.
Yeah, I think that's a good theory with the whole smoke thing, but
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it starts moving faster. See, I never remember like which episode is which episode to be like thinking like I more see it as a whole thing, but yeah, there's still a lot to go, but we're halfway through, so I really think this show would have been better if it was more than 8 episodes. I think that there's a lot left out. I liked it, but I feel like I would have liked more backstory and more on the characters that I feel like we're not getting to know good enough. But I also
like all the kids, because you'd feel for them more if you knew what they anything about them.
Yeah, we don't really know much about them. I do remember thinking like that there's a chance Maureen's going to help, or that they're going to try to get her help and it's going to backfire, one or the other. I don't know whether they're going to blackmail her because they know whatever her secret is, or whether they're going to use it to try to get her help. I don't know, but I think something's gonna, is happening with Maureen, obviously, since they ended it with that. So yeah, we'll have to find out. But yeah, 4 more episodes, so we're halfway through. All right. Well, anything else before we wrap it up? Okay. All right. Well,
what is Jen saying by 7? What is she saying when she says 7, Jen?
I asked on a scale 1 to 10 what they thought about the episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you did that. Sorry.
Yeah, I had said it really quick. That was why. So yeah, guys, I will be back with Karen and AJ at 10 Eastern tomorrow to review this show. Less of a breakdown, more of a review between the 3 of us. And then at 1 a.m., which I guess technically is Friday, but tomorrow night at 1 a.m. or tonight at 1 a.m., whatever you want to say, Monday night at 1 a.m., Tuesday morning at 1 a.m., Scarlet and I will be back for Nautilus. So yes, please make sure that you come back for Nautilus. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get back early enough to do a watch party. No, like tomorrow night is Nautilus. Not yet, Jen. tomorrow night. But yeah,
gonna hop back on at 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can have a watch party. I just don't know if I can be back in time to do that, because the problem is with the show at 10, we'd have to do it like 8:30. It's really hard to try to fit in a watch party. But yeah, that's tomorrow night. And then we have Fandom Access on Tuesday, of course, and then Thursday we have Scarlet and I have our Librarians show at 11, and we're going to be doing Sandman at 1. Wait, Nautilus is at 12. Is it 12 tomorrow? That just hit me what I said. I've been saying the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Nautilus tomorrow is at midnight, not at 1. So don't listen to
11:59.
Yeah, it's 11:59 on Monday night, because it's a Midnight Murderbot's place. We did it at 1 the one night, and that's why I'm getting confused. Yeah, tomorrow at 10 is Institute. At 12 is Nautilus, and then on Thursday at 1 is when we're doing Sandman. So so yeah. But of course, those are always put them in Discord. And I have already scheduled the 2 for tomorrow. So they're already up. You can find the links if you go to YouTube. But yeah, make sure you check out all our videos and lives. And I did put up that interview with Brandon Routh and Mina Savari for that movie Ick, which was fun. And it looks like there's going to be another watch party right now. The Doc's doing, so you guys can go watch that movie if you're going to watch it. I don't know. I'm not sure what that is. I'm probably going to get some sleep. But yeah, hopefully we will see you guys tomorrow. Like I said, just keep checking back scifivision.com for different interviews and check Discord for schedule and watch parties and everything else. And we will see you tomorrow night, I guess. So thank you everybody for coming. Appreciate it. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying this show and looking forward to talking about the rest of it. And at some point, Tony's going to come on. I still don't have a day, but one of these days, Tony's going to be coming on. And yeah, so he'll be joining us somewhere. And Phil. Sorry, Tony and Phil. I always say that. I mention it.
Yeah, I just watched one of Phil's streams and it was pretty fun.
That's cool.
It's about the new Vince Gilligan show.
Yeah, I saw something about that. I never watched Breaking Bad. I mean, I watched maybe like an episode, maybe. And I watched the very beginning of the spinoff because I did a conference call with Bob Odenkirk for it. But I never watched it. I did meet Vince Gilligan though, like a long time ago when he was on the X-Files set. But
nice.
But I've not watched. I've not watched
photos.
Sorry, what?
You have any photos of that meeting?
Yes, I do. Yeah. Although I was like 17, so but yes, I got
but still, I mean, you always want to talk in lives about stuff. You should get those photos. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'll have to get them out. Yeah, I had met him. That was way before Breaking Bad, though. Was up.
Yeah.
I know, kind of stunk. As much as I didn't see Breaking Bad, I would have liked to have gone. When we were at the set for Midnight Texas, it was right where they filmed Breaking Bad. That they had filmed it. I mean, it was over being filmed, but they had filmed it there. And I know some of the people went to go check out the different locations. And I had eaten bad seafood, so I did not get to go. We'll just put it that way without getting into grossness.
Yikes.
I didn't get to go because I was sick. I would have liked to have seen it though, because it was like his house or something that they had filmed at. I don't know. It was like right down the street from where we were at. But no, I didn't get to see it. So I did not watch Breaking Bad. All right, everybody. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Work on your TP skills, everyone.